Hello to all of you loved ones. This is Love Marlene 411, your channel for topics about healing your relationships, trauma healing, and podcasts, and the I can't think of the name of my other show, but I will link it in the comment section below. But I'm your channel for all of those things. Basically, in talking about elevating and not staying in stuck places and being hurt. Now, I wanted to talk about jealous people today. People who are envious and jealous of who you are. They'll be jealous of what you've done in your life. Nobody, you know, what is the problem with going to school, getting some education, working on yourself and doing better and being better? But many people will be jealous of the things that you have and the person that you are, but they won't put any of the work involved in improving themselves because they don't want to improve themselves. They want things easy. They want to be given a handout. They want to be able to have the same opportunities that you have without putting in the work. We all know them. They try to ride on the coattails of our success, to quote Boss Life Online. And that's what they do. They will always try to get from you or get from another person or try to appear to be as intelligent as another. When I believe that every person has their own abilities, every single person has their own abilities and their own gifts, but it's up to us to use them. And I have to say this, that the people who are jealous of what you have, of what you are doing with your life, it's exhausting to try to block their negativity. It's exhausting to try to just be who you are. Every day we wake up and, dealing with your own personal issues, your own difficulties, your own just trying to live your day to day. And then here come other people with their thoughts and their ideas and their negativity and their judgments and their assumptions of you and your life. And they know nothing about you. The people who always pretend like they know so much about us, they have no idea what it's like to be you, to walk in your shoes, to deal with the things that you have been through. They would never deal with it because it's not their vibe, it's not their life. They're not you. But yet they assume that they know about you. And they look at you and give you the dirty looks, or they talk about you behind your back, or they try to start mess with you. It's crazy. I always say that the people who don't know how to know themselves and love themselves and, just get a life. Some people just need to learn that it's time to get a life and to be better, you know. But until you as a human being want to do better, you won't. I stayed in that position for many years, being jealous of what other women had or what other men had, just because I didn't know I could have my own. I could be my own individual. I could be happy. But I had to want to be in that position to want my own life and to stop looking at other people and wanting to duplicate their life when I could be trying to have my own phenomenal life. So I know that many of you loved ones have people in your life and they're jealous of you. Either by the way they talk to you, the ones they'll say, "Oh, you think you're better?" And when actually you are. I know that I'm better, and not in a conceited way, but I know I'm better in the way that I think about myself. I'm better in not letting people run over me and use me. I'm better in knowing when it's time to take a break and that I'm tired. I'm better because I don't hold resentment anymore. I get upset and mad maybe for a few days longer than I should, but I let myself let it go so that I can be at peace, so that I can be happy. As I mature and grow up, I can't let people who are jealous, people who are negative, people who are doing nothing with their life stop me from living mine. And I say that to all of you loved ones as well. Don't let people, especially those who are your relatives, your friends, quote unquote, your coworkers, stop you from living the phenomenal life that you deserve. And for me, it was putting in the work into myself, giving myself that opportunity to say, you know what, you want to start a business, start your business. You want to have a YouTube channel, do it. And not just doing things, but having a plan so that I can start things and then have enough energy and focus to continue with it. So it's all those things, loved ones. I want for every single one of us to live our life with love and peace and prosperity. And people in our life, they will be so exhausting, they will be so toxic, and they will pull and take and use and manipulate and start stuff and all of those things, because they are a negative person. They're going to try to make you negative, but don't let them, you know, don't let people bring you down. I just wanted to come in with this message on today. Happy New Week to all of you loved ones, and to anybody who is battling jealous people, jealous relatives, jealous friends, just people who you don't even know. You could just be walking down the street and people will give you a dirty look, or people will treat you in a bad way. Your relatives, your person you're in a relationship. It does not always have to be a stranger that will be jealous of you. It'll be the very ones that you know. So, we do definitely have to know our worth. Hey, Miss Puzzle Pieces, how are you doing? Welcome. Appreciate you being here. How are you doing? I thought I'd do a little bit of a pop up live stream. Do you want to come up? If you do, I'll go in through another one and drop the link. If not, I will get out of here. Let me know if you want to come up. If you do, I'll go in through my tablet, and then we can stay on and chit chat. Let me know. But one thing that I had to learn about myself is it's so important to know myself, to know my gifts, to know my own talents. And I couldn't let other people who don't know themselves, people who don't love themselves, stop me from being my best. Never let another person stop you from being the best that you deserve to be. For many, many years, I let my friends, well, I thought they were my friends, what they said, fake friends, uh, um, enemies. They're really your enemies, with not really your friends, not really the people that we think they are. And they will pull the wool over our eyes, right? I'll be right back. Hold on. And they will pull a wool over our eyes and make us feel like we are not doing things good, but actually they're acting that way because they wish that they were us. They wish they were you. I just put the link in there, Miss Nexie. They wish that they were you. They wish that they could have the life that you have. But I had to learn, how to love myself. I had to learn that I was worthy of doing my own life, of being my own person. Hey, realist one, 100% act, Mr. Hashtag act accordingly. How are you doing? Welcome. And let's welcome Miss Nexa. Hey, Miss Nexie, how are you doing? You're muted though.
Yes, I is. I was talking to Realist. I was saying hi to him, but Mrs. Hurry Pants cannot even let me do that.
Yes, Miss Hurry Pants. I am
Must
Miss Hurry
hurry
Pants.
up now, Pants. Cannot even let me do that. Okay, so good topic as always.
Yeah, I'm doing good, realist. I'm doing good. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you're doing good too. Um, I don't know. I just feel like talking about this today. Jealous people. It's just, I don't know, like the things that you see like on the news, things that you see on social media. I just don't understand why people are jealous of others. I don't get it. It makes
It's
no sense.
it's weird. We've actually, but it makes no sense. But people are just too. I guess they're too busy, like trying to up the next person, and I guess that they don't even know when they got there, how they got there, and where they're going with. They're just sometimes jealous just to be jealous of that person, because it makes no sense to me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know how sometimes people go crazy over um, followers, like they want to do these crazy stunts. They want to prank people, and sometimes they get unalived or hurt because they want to do one better than sometimes their so-called friend or another content creator. So they're always doing things, and they don't even know why they're doing it, because they have good following. They probably have a great life. It's just, I don't know. I don't know what goes in in what's in their mind, really, because I'm not a jealous type of person, so I don't know how. I mean, how can I put it? We're all jealous of something, of someone, right? Oh my god, but you know, the I'm so jealous your hair looks so beautiful today. That type of jealousy, we all have it, right? It's not that we're
Mm-hmm.
sick, but there's people that are actually sick, and they are jealous of everything somebody else has, and they go to a level of scariness that you don't want to be that on the receiving end of that, because they go crazy on you.
Yeah,
So
my
that's
whole,
the level I don't understand.
yeah, me either. Hi, Miss Tamika. How are you doing?
Hi,
Hey,
Tamika.
realist. How's everybody doing? Happy Monday. I just thought I'd do a pop up. Oh no, where did Miss Nexie go? I hope she'll come back. But I think that it's very important, like what Miss Nexie was saying, with the people who are jealous and all of those things. It's because they don't know themselves. And those are people I really feel sorry for. I grew up in that state to where I was always jealous of other people and what they had because I didn't learn anything about self esteem. I didn't know that I could do something great with my life. I didn't understand that I could have this great and phenomenal life, that I could have the same things that they had. I don't have to be jealous of what another person has. And many people need to learn that lesson. Instead of being envious of what another person has, go and have your own thing.
Yeah, but I feel that that's or people that are, sick to that point. It's for us. It's easier said than done. Um,
Hmm.
they are beyond normal, and I know that it's not nice to say this, but there are people out there who have even unalived others because they're so envious of what the gifts or the personality or the lifestyle that this other person has, and they want it for themselves. So they feel that analyzing that person, right away they're going to be able to get everything that this person has. And it's funny because it's not funny, but it's interesting that you're talking about this today because I saw a case a long time ago. I think it was from England, about this girl who was, they were neighbors. They lived in the same building or the same neighborhood. I don't remember exactly. But she was, I think she was like 18 or something like that. She was a teenager. And she had these friends, these people that lived in the same neighborhood, and they had two daughters. And one of them was 16. She was a ballerina. She was very accomplished. She was very pretty. And she ended up unaliving her because, according to her, in her sickness, by unaliving her the girl's soul and everything, and everybody was going to start liking, it was going to go into her, and everybody was going to start liking her, and she was going to turn into this amazing person.
These people are so twisted and sick. There's some really evil people out there.
Yes, Marlene. When I heard that case, I was very surprised. I was very, very shocked because, first of all, I mean, again, she was a teenager herself. So, our frontal brain part is not connected at that point yet, which is why a lot of teens, unalive people. A lot of teens commit a lot of other crimes because their frontal lobe area of the brain is not fully developed. It's developed, but it's not connected to the rest of the brain, which is why sometimes they do this irrational things that you're like, how could you, didn't you think about that before you did it?
No, they didn't.
Exactly, but they cannot. So this girl was a teenager herself, but was so envious of the life because this little girl was beautiful and she was a prima ballerina, and she was very good at school, and she had good parents. So she thought that by doing this she was going to be able to take over this girl's life, kind of. I don't
Mm.
know, it was so weird. It was such a weird case.
I think it's that probably she wanted that life. Maybe she wasn't getting that sort of love and attention from home. Most people who have those jealousy issues, they're not receiving the love and the affection at home. I know that it sounds like something strange, but some people are the way that they are because they've never been hugged and loved and kissed in their life.
Oh no, yeah, that was actually, everything came to light when she got, taken into custody and everything. But the whole point here is that a lot of us can go through hell and back. A lot of us can be with families that don't love us, don't give us the attention we need. A lot of us can go through, like I said, a lot of things and not commit a crime. So yes, it's the environment, and yes, it's probably the way she was raised, but there was something in her that allowed her to go there. You know what I mean? Because I don't believe that, because how you were raised and this and that, and that's why you go in that direction. Like I truly don't believe that.
I
I
believe that some people are just pure evil, Miss Nexie. Being honest.
Yeah.
Just some,
Well.
like, let's be honest, that a lot of people have really great parents, and people will always try to put it on the parents, where their parents must have done this and the parents must have done that, and they could be in the best neighborhood, they could have got great education, a loving
Hmm.
family. It's just some people, they're
It's in them.
mentally unstable.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Some people don't even let you say hi to the people in the chat. That's how evil they are. You know what I mean, Marlene?
Yeah, it's like, okay, you say
They're
hi in the chat,
rushing you.
and
They
then
want all
they
your
will block you
attention.
or time you out.
They want all of your attention. You know what I mean. You know how it goes.
Yes, I do. Like one time, all I did was say hi, and then I was timed out. I was like, "What?"
Oh well, that's a different kind of crazy and evil. We're not gonna go there with that one. We're both gonna be in trouble if we mention her name.
Yeah, I know. But honestly, even on this app of YouTube, it's a different type of evil. Like, I don't know. No, I'm serious,
Girl, you're
Nancy.
telling
This
me?
YouTube is a different type of evil because I've been on other social medias. Well, I'm not going to mention the names because this is YouTube, but I've been
Mm-hmm.
on other platforms and I've never dealt with this sort of what do you call it, monstrosities that you
Mm-hmm.
encounter on this app. It's so much people who are clout chasers and liars and manipulators and thieves and frauds characters, and it's like, okay, like if you will do that to somebody on an app, how must you be in real life?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
It's a different monster. It's weird, but at the same time, it's something that you get to once you get to know how this app works or how people around this YouTube streets move, you start becoming a little bit more cautious on how you behave around them or what you can and cannot say around certain people. So that for me is I watch what I say and what I do around people, and if for some remote weird chance I happen to probably disrespect someone, which I try not to. But if somebody takes it the wrong way, then I apologize because the last thing you want is to have frenemies here because it doesn't just affect you; it affects the people you follow as well. So I tend to right away say, you know what, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean that, or I meant no disrespect, so that people understand that sometimes what you say it's because you're in the heat of the moment, not because you're trying to disrespect anyone.
But you know what, Nexie? I'm not disregarding what you're saying, but sometimes I get tired of apologizing for things and I'm not doing nothing. All I'm doing is enjoying the conversation or sharing my perspective. And then next thing, people will go and make a whole video about you saying you disrespected them. And I was like, people on this app are whack.
you
They
you you know
are, for
you know
real.
what my father it's funny because you know how our parents have all these sayings and you're like, what is he trying to say, or why does you like the one that you can bring the horse to water but you cannot make
Them
it drink.
drink.
Yeah, I'm like, what the, I don't even have a horse. Or birds of a feather. Remember I told you when I was
Yeah,
little, what
birds of
are
a
you
feather flock
talking?
together. Yeah.
I don't even I'm not even a bird. But you know how our parents have those sayings, and as you get older, you start using them. Well, my father used to say when I will, one of my siblings or myself will come home and say, "Oh yeah, well so and so is not talking to me because I'm not talking to her friends, so now she's not talking to me." So my dad, I remember him always saying, I don't understand why people are always sweating somebody else's fights.
Mm-hmm. I
Like
did.
what?
I was just talking about that the other day, Nexie. You know, getting yourself involved in things that you have no business. Like, if two people had a falling out, why am I involved in it? This has nothing to do with me. Like, don't put me in it. Like, don't CC you and things. I was like, take me out the group chat. Nope, nope, nope. That's your business. You guys need to fix it. And
Or why do they get upset at you if that person no longer speaks to you? And you're like, okay, yeah, we're not talking. I'm not, you know, we're not in good terms, but what does that have to do with you? And I think that that was the whole point of my dad. Is like, why are they always sweating somebody else's fight? And I was like, what? I wasn't fighting. We were sweating. But I
No, and
think what he meant is, why are they getting involved in something that has nothing to do with them? And why are they, dropping you now when the problem is not with them, is between you and that other person, right? But it was just weird sayings.
I know, Nexie, and it's like for people who are like your family, your friends, your significant other, like you're ready to jump into fights, and you're like, why am I fighting this person and getting upset and defending this person? And let's be honest, some people that we know, they do some shady things.
Oh, yes, they do.
They do some shady things, but you're right, they're backing them. So I had to start pulling away from people who are like that, who they whether they throw rocks, they
Mm.
make they make problems, and then later on they'll be like, hey, can you believe they did this to me? And you're want to say like, yeah, I can't believe it because you've done this or that.
No, and again, they want you to take sides like we're in middle school, right? And the
Yeah.
thing here is, we're not in middle school anymore. We're grown ups. And, if the fallout was between the two of you, that is between the two of you, has nothing to do. I can still talk to Marlene and talk to, let's say it was between you and Realist. Let's say that is something
Mhm.
like that. I can still talk to Realist and I can still talk to you. It has nothing to do between me and Realist or me and you. It has nothing to do. I can support whoever I want to.
And that's what I'm trying to say, Nexie. Like, okay, say like you said, for example, like me and Realist had a falling out. I'm not saying this is just an example, Realist. I'm not saying this is real, but say we had a falling out, but some people will act like, oh, I you can't go to Realist and me. Like you have to choose between the two of us. I was like, that's so weird.
I will
That's
still
so
go to
weird.
Realist and then come back to you and tag you. Oh, Marlene, how you doing? I'm here at Realist.
I know, but it's the thing. Like
Oh,
it makes
did,
me feel uncomfortable though, Nexie, when you are you are like you feel like you have to choose sides. Like I can't be
yeah,
friends with two people because they're not friends with them. Like oh you're going to them or you're hanging out with them. Like, but I'm not friends with them, and I'm like, what does that have to do with me?
yeah, exactly. And the thing here is, for me, when I see, because you know how you feel when people are looking at you side eye, even though it's a chat and it's, we all chat. It's not one another looking at each other talking face to face, but you can still tell that, when you're saying hi to people, they don't answer back, or um, maybe one or two says something and the rest ignore you or whatever. What
Hmm.
Even on places like that, what I do is I just leave. I don't go out and say, "Oh, Marlene, so and so did this to me," or I go to Realist. "Oh, Realist, you going to so and so did this to me?" No, that's between me and that person. The
Hmm.
fact that you're not saying hi to me on your chat, that means you don't want me there. So I just leave, but I don't create any trouble, because why? Eventually, the
Yeah.
people that go and follow, eventually they're gonna get it. And that's when you just sit back and relax. You just allow them to maybe criticize you or say things about you, but eventually they're gonna get the same payback that you're getting for nothing, really.
Yeah, exactly. I want to highlight this comment from Realist. Realist says that I think the people who usually are so quick to point the finger are usually the real issue.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yep.
And they do. They always
It's
make it
true.
seem like, oh, and the other person is the problem when actually it's them. They start the fire and then they get upset when they get on the hot seat. Like, what is happening? why are everybody against me? And you're looking like, for real? Are you kidding?
I like that the
Yeah,
next one you highlighted, and it's
yeah.
true. Realize it's so true. You, I don't take sides with people. I never done it, and even with my children, when they were fighting, I will go neutral. I was Switzerland. I don't
Mhm.
care. You guys solve it, because if you get involved to defend one or the other, then they say, "Oh, you took his side." When later on, when they are all like, you know, laughing and giggling in their room, playing again like nothing happened, then they start thinking, "Oh, so you like him more than me?
Mhm.
Oh, you stood up for him, but not me." So I didn't. I never have. I allow them to resolve their own issues. And, if they're fighting, I only get involved when there's blood so that I can wipe them off so they can continue the fight.
Mhm.
Okay, let me
Yeah.
take the blood off of your face. Okay, now you can see clearly.
Yeah,
Go
yeah.
on.
Like, okay, okay. I have bandages here. When you guys are done, I have bandages and gauze and
Yeah,
alcohol. Continue.
it's
Um.
between them. You cannot
Mhm.
get involved. And for people that, in these YouTube streets, when they start making or trying to create an issue with someone like me, I don't have issues with anyone. I'm very respectful everywhere I go, because that's the same way I like to be treated, with respect.
Mhm.
When there is an opinion that somebody doesn't like, I make it clear, like, "Oh my God, that's my opinion. I was just saying that. I didn't, I meant no disrespect," because, you have to also make sure that you're not overstepping with somebody. So I'm not like that. So when people create issues and, turn people against me, it has happened a couple of times. I'm like, I haven't done anything. Like, why are you acting like a child?
But you know what gets me next is that you're not even a content creator.
Mm-hmm.
And I like the things that I've seen happen, like people have been doxxed behind,
Yeah.
and I'm like, you're not even content creator. Like, how are they doxing you? And you don't even create content. Like, I was like, this is so strange and weird. They will have people against you, and it's not like you're a content creator. That's, I don't know.
But there's like there's a precedent that's been it's been set up as we speak, when it comes to this doxing and everything, as they call it here on these YouTube streets. And the precedent is that you can prosecute someone now, because
Mhm.
that's a form of stalker, or that's a form of abuse or bullying and stuff like that. The fact that they got your info, the fact that they have placed it on a place where they everybody can see. And so that's, kind of some sort of like an abuse. So now you can actually, present this in court, and you can actually sue somebody. So
Yeah.
we have to be careful on the things that we do, because if we think that there no action can be taken, if you got receipts, you can take any action. And it's been proven again and again as of late. There's so many people that have gotten sued, on these sites, that you have to
Yeah.
be very careful.
No, and they always say that yes, YouTube for some people is entertainment, but you have to be careful what you do. Like that old saying, what goes around comes around. I'm telling you, when that thing comes around, I call it the boomerang. When that boomerang comes around, I always I pray that I've done right, so that when that boomerang comes back to me, like it doesn't take me out. I'm just saying. Realist says, I despise when folks jump to conclusions. It always ends bad. And it
Hmm.
does. It always ends bad. Especially if there was a rapport. It probably could
Hmm.
have been talked about if it was that big. But how can that happen when outside parties add gas to the fire?
Hmm.
It's like hold on a second, next thing, it's like they don't even know anything about it. They're just jumping in, yeah, 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 and this and that. I'm like, but you weren't there. I was like, did you see it? I was like, why are you even here? It's like, why are you here? And they'll be the main ones making the most trouble and talking the loudest. screaming and saying all kinds of ridiculous things, and they're not. It's not even their issue. It's crazy.
It sure is. But with people like that, I just like to sit back and relax because eventually, you know, it comes back. And then you're sitting there saying, see, I didn't have to do anything. I told you so. And they apologize to you, right? They come and say, I'm so sorry, I didn't, I don't know why. And but at that point, the probably the relationship that you were starting to build with this other person, even if it's collaborations or whatever it is, it's already tainted. So that friendship that could have started then, it will never go anywhere just because you chose to listen to a busybody.
Yeah. And the whole thing is that I'm the type of person that I do appreciate when people try to say things to warn me about people, but they just say this is what happened to me. I'm not telling you stay away. I'm just telling you what happened to me, and then they leave it. Somebody who is actually your friend in real life will try to warn you about somebody, like they just like, I'm just saying, I'm just telling you that they're moving this kind of way and it's weird. And then you let them make their own decisions. I'm the type of friend that I know people say, "Oh, I'm not telling them nothing. Make them find out on their own." But I can't do that to my real friends. If I see somebody is like toxic or dangerous, or or they're moving funny, I'm gonna say that, like, they're moving funny. I'm not saying they're moving funny to you,
Oh
but
yeah,
they're moving
or
funny to
just,
me.
yeah, or just, be careful. Just watch out. Be careful on, who you're dealing with, and that's it. You don't have to go into details of what happened to you or what they did to you, but just, what's your step. That's all you can say to someone you care for. What's your step over here? Just, and I think that is more than enough. At least for me, it is. If somebody tells me, hey, just watch your step over there because, there's, just be careful. I'll understand and I'll be like, oh, okay. And I watch what I
Okay.
say. I don't, you know what I mean? Like, I don't.
Mhm. And I feel like you should be able, for to I'm talking about a mature friend. I'm not just talking about any friend. Somebody who has maturity, and you can say things without having to walk on eggshells. I don't like those type of people. Like, if I can't say what I want to say with somebody and they're my friend, quote unquote, that for me, that's not a friend. If I have to
Mm-hmm.
be like, "Oh, I can't say this," or "Oh, I can't say that," like, they're gonna get offended, they're gonna get mad, they're gonna ghost me. That's kid stuff. I don't
Mm-hmm.
have time for that kid stuff. Like, I moved away from that about, maybe I would say about 6, 7 years now.
Wait,
After
I was saying about the fifth or the sixth grade.
Oh, well, it took me longer, Mexi. I'm just being honest. It took me longer. I didn't move away from that immaturity stuff until my late 20s. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. It took me a while. It took me a while to get it, because I was one of those type of people that I was trying to be the popular person, and everybody was my
Mm.
friend. Everybody's my friend. I was like, I got so many friends, until one day when something happened to me and I looked around and I was like, where are all my friends? I thought I had friends, and it was like the echo, hello, 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 hello.
So that's when you understood that,
That's when I
yeah.
got it. But then
And
when you get it, you get it. And and getting back to the topic, talking about jealousy in people, and my whole thing is that I believe jealousy stems from a person not loving themselves. When you know yourself and you love yourself, you don't have time to be jealous for another person. Like, you're so busy doing your thing that you don't
mm-hmm.
have time to be looking what they're doing. You're so focused on your life and your happiness, and doing you. I don't know. I Maybe I'm different.
No, it should be. If you're content with what you got, you're happy with the way things are going, you're working hard to achieve certain goals and stuff like that, then what others are doing shouldn't bother you. It shouldn't matter to you because it has nothing to do with you. If whoever has more subscribers, or they get more cash apps, or whatever, whoever does that, it doesn't matter to you, because what you're doing it because you believe in what you're doing. You got an older car, this person has a newer, but who cares? You're not gonna go and you know get yourself in debt just so that you can have a better car than that person. So those are the things. If things are working out in your life, you don't have time, right, to be thinking about anybody else's.
And
You can be happy for them, but you don't have to be jealous.
And you know what I will say to that too, Miss Nexie, is I had to learn that my life, even when I wasn't happy with my life, I was the reason I was that way is because I had to look at my own self. And it's like I'm mad because I wish I had this or that. I wish I had the skill. I wish I had the mindset. Wish I had this, but I had to turn that back on myself instead of putting that negative energy outside. I had to go inside of myself and fix my own issues. Why do I feel like I can't have something great? I don't want to have what they have. I want to have what's meant to be for me. And for me, my thinking is I want to have what God has for me, not what God has for them, because He could have two different things. Like those are two different people. I don't want
Hmm.
what He has for them. I want what He has for me, because what He has for you is going to fit in your situation how you need it to. That's
Hmm.
something that I had to learn.
Exactly. You cannot. God knows the perfect timing for everything. You cannot rush anything. It's gonna come on your time when you're ready to receive it. Because we've seen when people get ahead of themselves, we've seen what happens when it's taken away.
Hmm. Yeah, we've seen what happens when it's taken away, and the whole thing about it is that I was a person. I guess you could say I was a late bloomer. It took me a long time to get things, but I'm telling you, I was one of those people. Like I was so busy having fun, life of the party, doing everything I wanted to do. Like who cares? I didn't care about nothing. I did whatever I wanted to do. I ran, walked to the beat of my own drum. If you told me go left, I was gonna go west. I'm not even going right. I'm going in a completely different direction. And I've always been that way, but I had to learn as I got older and mature that, the decisions that you make, it affects people who care about you. Like, you're ruining, like, the family reputation. Like, I was like, okay, you need to start making some better decisions so that you can plan for your future. Aren't you trying to retire soon? Like, I had to get mature and stop being jealous and start getting into my reason, my purpose. And, even reminding myself, that I actually do have a purpose. Many people don't understand and get that part. You have a purpose. Every
Hmm.
single person
We
does.
all do.
Hmm.
We all do, and we all have our gifts, and we all have our, disadvantaged sides to us. We all have a little bit of everything. But if you're so busy being jealous of what others have, you don't get to examine your gifts, to enjoy and use your gifts, and wait for the time. Because if you accomplish something, let's say you want a car, right, and you start working extra time, and you start putting money aside, you start saving, 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 and then eventually a year or two you buy the car that you wanted it. Let's say it's like the one your friend had, and you buy it, and you pay it cash, and you don't have a car note, right? You had to wait 2 years to get there, but you got it. Now, your friend is probably still paying that car that she bought right away or he bought right away, and she still has the car note. But because you waited, instead of being jealous and just acting on impulse, you waited, you're far ahead of
Mhm.
anything else that your friend could have had. So we have to work hard for what we want and what we want to get in life. Things that come easy are not appreciated. And
See,
being
and that
envious and jealous, it's a waste of time.
it is, and that's the thing about a lot of people on this app. Now, I'm not throwing nobody under the bus. I'm not calling names, but there's a lot of people who are taking the easy route. They're taking the easy route. We know how what people do on this app, buying views and buying subscribers and doing a lot of things. What I call it trickerization. Like you can trick other people by how it appears and looks, but what about when you turn on your live or when you upload a video? Why aren't you getting the views when you have all of this stuff? I'm just saying.
No, yeah,
I'm
it
just
happens.
I'm
It
just saying.
happens. It happens. But I feel that, it again, they want to rush the process, and when you do that, you don't get, once you get to a certain level, but you haven't really worked for that level, you don't get to appreciate it. You want more, you want more, you want more, you want to get higher. You want to get more, more exposure. You're never content. But if you work hard, to get there little by little and appreciate every single one of your subscribers and everyone that comes into your chat and and talks to everybody else and you, or whoever collaborates with you, those are the things that count. You appreciate every little milestone in your channel because you're working hard for it. And again, anything that comes easy is not always appreciated. And it's not always a good thing.
No, and I have to say with that too, Miss Nexie, that everything that everybody is doing on their channel is not what you should do on yours.
Yeah, that's another thing. Some people are good at certain things, so others are good at other things. And, you cannot be doing certain things that don't come to you naturally because people are going to start, looking at you side eye or saying, okay, wait a minute, you started with this and now you're doing this other thing. Like, what's going on?
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
eventually, if it's not something you enjoy, you're not going to be successful at it.
Mhm. Or Miss Nexie, or if it's something that you stole from somebody. I had to learn. I learned that too. When I came on this app, I was just following. Oh, they're doing this. Okay, I'll do that. Oh, oh, I'll do that. Oh, they're doing. Oh,
Oh,
I'll do that.
Miss
I had to learn to
Marlene.
find my own lane. I had to learn to find my own lane and be my own self, and to find my own lane. And I found my lane.
Not
I'm
copying others what they were
no.
doing. Oh, okay.
Yeah. And that's and that's something that a lot of people unfortunately don't know how to get it because they don't take enough time to sit and say, what am I good at? What can I do? What am I good at? They haven't put no work inside of themselves to actually give themselves that pat on the back. I'm good at this, I can do that. And then you do that, and even if other people are doing it but they don't do it like you do.
Yeah, exactly. We're all different. We follow the people that we click with, right? The people that
Mhm.
we that have good topics. I can follow 5 or 6 different motiv- motivators or motivational speakers, right? But everyone is different.
Mhm.
It's not, they're not all Marines. They all have a different take on what they're speaking about, or the motivation of the day or of the week, or the topics. So everybody's different, and even if the topics are similar, the way that they view the topic If it's something that you do and you love doing, it's different.
Hmm. It's the
But
I always say, Nexie, it's the delivery. It's
yeah,
how somebody brings the message. And I can say that when I was first came on here to YouTube, when I was doing what everybody else was doing, of course it was not successful because it was not meant to be for me. It's like you're trying to talk about something that you don't have any skin in that game.
hmm,
You've never experienced any of that. You don't have any passion behind it. Not that it's not a good topic or not a good story or it's not something good to do, but when you don't have some sort of investment in that topic or that conversation, it's like you really can't go into it with feeling. um
no,
I don't know how else to
you can
explain
go.
it, but that's what I say.
If the topic is not, or if you're doing something on your channel that is not something that you have experienced, you're going out of a textbook experience. And that's exactly how you're going to deliver the message. It's not going to really register with anyone because it's like you read from a book and you're just spewing all of that to the audience. But people can tell when it's a topic that is it's you, that it touches you, that it has happened to you, compared to something that has happened to somebody else or that you read somewhere. The feeling is not there. The experience on how you speak from of the topic is not there. And the most important thing is that the terminology of that experience is not going to be placed in the right place. So that's why a lot of people can tell, okay, this is something she read or something she wants to talk about today, but it's not something that she knows, she's familiar, she has experienced.
Yeah.
So you
Hey,
have to,
Bryden. Sorry, Nexie.
hey, Bryden.
Yeah, and Nexie, for many years when I was younger, I used to be jealous of my siblings and everybody around me, jealous of how they looked and what they could do. But I didn't, like, one day I was like, wait a minute, but what about the things that I can do? And it takes a lot of work to look at your own self and to say, I can do great things. I have gifts. I have potential. I can do some great things. I can not only start it, but I can finish it. And for many years, I had a lot of unresolved issues from my childhood because I had people in my life that would say, oh, that looks ugly, or you don't do anything right, or that's stupid. Like I didn't get the acceptance behind the things that I did. So it was the reason why, all the way up until my 20s, I would start so many things, but I would never finish it. I could never be consistent. And I had to
Mm-hmm.
learn that I had to give my own self that permission that you can start things and continue it and finish it. Hmm.
Again, you had to learn to understand that the only person that you had to be okay with and please was you, yourself. You know, the only way we're gonna be able to move on from that state of mind was working on you, taking care of you, believing in you, accepting you. That's the only way we can say, why was I so invested on that person? I don't even
Hmm.
like the way she talks. I don't even like the way she dresses. I don't even like the way she walks. She walks like a duck. You know what I mean? Like you the only person that you needed to please, and we gotta say is it was you.
Hmm. You
Unfortunately, sometimes we don't see it.
Yeah, until you learn. And that was, I think, when I took a whole sabbatical in my mid 20s. I took a sabbatical and just, like, who really am I? Like, what am I about? What do I do? And many people never pause long enough to look at what they're good at. That what they do is they replace that who am I with a relationship, and they
Mm.
expect a relationship to fulfill, to fill in all of those gaps and those spaces and that love that they need to give to themselves.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, because you know, self examination is one of the hardest thing you can do.
Mhm.
You have to, if you're gonna be honest with yourself, going there with yourself, it's 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 not easy. Because you
Mhm.
have to allow yourself to see that bad part of you, that I don't, like you said, I don't finish certain tasks. I myself guilty of procrastination. Oh my God, I am so guilty of that. And so all those things you have to be aware of. You have to be um, willing to make a change. If you're gonna be honest with yourself, you have to be willing to set up certain goals and then finish them, and do them for you. Don't do them to impress anybody else. Everything has to be done for you.
It does. And what Bryden said, if you take care of yourself and love yourself first, then everything else will fall in and follow. And that's a wholehearted amen to that, because until you know how to take care of yourself and love yourself, and I would add to that too, and be your own friend, that really was monumental in my success of my life and being positive and staying even keeled with keeping myself positive and happy until when other people would come and go from my life, I had to learn that when people drop out, then my own friendship is there. So I wouldn't get into those
Hmm.
really low lows because I'm okay. I have
Exactly.
me.
Yeah, that's all I need. And a good book. That's
Thank
it.
you so
Just that.
much, Puzzle
And a
Pieces.
good book. So,
Yay, Bryden got a membership.
oh, he did?
Yep.
Yay, Bryden.
Yay. Welcome to membership. We're going to do something for members only next week.
We're
So,
building it.
yeah, we're building it. And that's one of the things that I definitely had to learn. Thank you, Puzzle Pieces. I appreciate it.
Oh,
Um,
you know it, girly.
and one of the things that I was definitely learning for myself was that it's so important to just just be me,
Mm-hmm.
just to be me, just to continue to be myself. And it's really hard, Nexie. I know that you didn't experience it, but I experienced it in my life, having so many like looking for the love of my family members, or my relatives I should say. And because I didn't get that, I thought that I didn't have any purpose, or why should I even be around? you know
Mm.
but I had to learn how to find out that the people who are like that, you don't need them in your life anyways. you
Yeah,
know
I think. Yeah, I think that's probably again, that's why it's so important for us to continue to to bring the awareness of hug your children, tell them you love them. Please make sure they're you're reading my story at night. Please make sure that you're involved, because this like I said previously, um, childhood is something that we continue to work on and try to get over when we are in our adulthood. So if you want your child to have, to be someone that is productive, someone that is positive, someone that, is going to be a good member of society, you have to invest on that when they're little. Because all these traumas, all this self consciousness and stuff like that, all this is developed when we're little. If we don't have the right upbringing.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And
And they
jealousy is
have to.
developed there too, when we are younger, because there's so many times maybe that if we have other siblings, they're probably have been put before our little selves so many times, and you become jealous of what they're having with your parents, or with that parent that you want the attention from. So you start developing those things. So that's why I always tell people, you have to be careful on what you say and what you do around a child.
Yeah, you have to be, and we always talk about it, and I know Bryden talks about it. Who else talks about it? I'm having a blank with names, but there's many content creators who talk about, spreading awareness for protecting children, and because we have to. There are people
Hmm.
out here who are completely sick, these chomos that will try to do things to our children just because they have not been aware. They have not had the conversations from their parents, right? The parents have not got them ready. You know, like, don't let anybody talk to you. Don't share your personal information. Don't go into spaces by yourself with another person. Never let anybody touch you, and if they do, they're going to say they're going to harm mom or dad or whoever. If you tell anyways.
Exactly. There's ways to be able to accomplish that with a child. You know what I mean? Like, there's ways that you can say, hey, you know what? This is the time where we can, um, we, let's talk about this, and let me show you, or let me give you the ability to say something to me. Like, hey, James.
Hey,
I didn't know
James.
James was here. To have the ability to be open. But for that openness, you have to stay, cool, calm, and collected. You cannot react to anything because kids are observing everything. So, there's a way we can talk to them to make sure that, that they protect themselves. And if anything ever happens, there's ways to allow them to come to us and let us know without fear of what mom or dad is going to do. Because a lot of times when the parents are excited and they're known for causing trouble or beating people up, a lot of times you feel so guilty. If I say something, my dad is going to go beat him up, or if I say something, my mom is going to go do this. So I'd rather not say anything because, you know what I mean, I don't want them to get in trouble. So that's
Yes,
why we have to watch what we do and say around our kiddos.
we do. And shout out to you, Miss Nexie. We have to put up congratulations to all the new members.
Oh
Welcome. Let's
yeah,
super chat
bear
it.
time.
Panda time.
You know,
Well, welcome to all the new members. We're gonna do a gifted members live stream next week. That will be fun. You're laughing at Panda?
no, something else. Never mind.
Okay.
Never mind. Never mind. But yeah, again, Marlene, we all, and again, when we say jealousy, we're not talking about the fun one that we say, oh, I'm so jealous of that car you have. I'm so jealous of your job, or I'm so jealous of all the time you have in the world. We're not talking about that. We're talking about the one that is sickening to the point of harming others because you want what they have.
Hmm. That's what makes me feel, a part of me feels sad for people who are that way, because I know what that feels like. I've been in that space, but also I put in work to change that, Nexie.
Exactly.
I put
That's the
in work.
difference. That's the difference between you and them,
Hmm.
is that
I
you
look
have
at
worked.
I look at people sometimes and I shake my head and I say, I remember those days. And I just keep on going. I remember those days. And now I know how to identify when I'm feeling that way. And I'm like, no, no, no. Nope, nope, nope. You have your own life. You have your own things that you do good. You don't have to be envious of them. But sometimes that envy that we have should be some encouragement for maybe sometimes where we're slacking and not doing what we need to do, and to give our own self a kick in the butt and say, go and do something.
Yeah, become more productive. What the?
Yeah,
But you're not
but
going to harm that other person. You're not going to the point of wanting to possess everything they have. You're just saying that's going to be the boost I need to get to the next level, or to be able to go on the trip of a lifetime that I've been planning in a year or so. So this is going to push me to save as much as I can.
yeah, and that's what we have to do. And that's
Yeah,
what
we
we
just
have to
have
do.
to be
We have to
careful.
just we have to be careful, and we have to start, one thing about, how like people say every year, it's a new year, it's a new me.
Yeah, no,
Hey,
it's a new
hey.
year's the same you.
That's what I want to say, because I know that would sound petty, but
I said it. I done said it.
I'm being honest, like, because I used to do that every year, like, oh yeah, December, like the last week in December, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm about to crush it this year. I'm about to.
Bye, Bryden. Thanks
Bye,
for stopping
Bryden.
by.
Appreciate you. It's and I laugh at myself because I used to do that. I don't do that anymore, but years ago, like, oh yeah, I'm about to crush this year, and I'll start off really good January and February. By March, I already stopped.
or I'm gonna do this, and then you're like, okay, wait a minute, we're in April. Oh shit, I was supposed to start blah 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 in January. What happened? Didn't I say on the first I'm gonna do this? But yet
And
life gets to lifing, and you get so busy
mhm,
with so many things to do. And the one thing that we need to wrap around our little heads is that right now everything is so expensive, everything is so super expensive, that with one job you don't do much. You have to have at least two jobs.
mhm.
We're head of households, so we have to think about that. If we don't get to do this goal that I put for myself in the next 6 months, that's okay. I'm going to try to tackle as much as I can to advance a little. If I don't reach it, that's okay. There's always next year. But we cannot, there's right now, life is so expensive, Marlene.
Life is expensive, and that's one of the things that what helped me so much is getting a mentor. That helped me so much with jealousy, because if you, number one, don't know how to achieve goals, if you don't know how to stay consistent with things, you need some assistance. So that's another thing I had to learn, to speak up for myself and say, you need some support, you need some help
Mm-hmm.
to help you to be able to do that. You have to realize your limits. I don't know how to do it, so I'm going to seek some support. And
I
I
need
did.
someone. Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
There you go. You see, you needed someone. You got to you knew that you were not going to be able to do this alone, so you went and got somebody to help you. And as as friends, we can also be accountable for somebody else and say, hey, you said you were going to do this, what's happening? We should
Hmm.
be that type of friend, right? But sometimes we're not, and I think that that's where we have to change a little, you know
Yeah,
be the
but
support of someone.
what, Nixie? It's hard sometimes to be that type of friend for somebody, because everybody is not open with one another like you and I are. Like, you can say, "Girl, what are you doing? Get off your butt and go and do what you said." you know. But other people would like get offended by that, because they're not ready for change. And I think because I was in the position that I was ready for change, that I could be able to actually get change. And I learned that from my mentor. Until
Mhm.
you can get all the good advice that you want,
Mm.
but
You
until you
have
get
to
in
be
that
open and
position.
ready.
Hmm.
You have to be open and ready and willing to change and do the work that it takes to change that behavior. Yeah, you're right. But when that person is ready, having that support that you need actually can help you a lot more than it can harm you. Having those
Exactly.
pushy friends, like, what do you mean you're sitting down? Didn't you say you were going to go to the gym at 10? Yeah, but I was like, get your butt up, go to the gym.
Look who's in the chat. Blur.
Yeah, I saw. Yeah, I was like, Flirt. You're welcome.
Yes.
But
Yes,
going
that
back
person.
to the jealousy part of this of this discussion, I I don't know. I was starting to get a little bit like, I think I'm gonna quit this YouTube thing
Hmm.
because people were like, being kind of
Weird.
weird. Yeah. And I'm
Mm.
not, you know me, Marlene. I'm not the type of person that, is disrespectful or it's bad mouthing anyone. I try to help as much as I can. I support people. I don't look for trouble. So when people are, saying things about me that I'm not doing at all, and people are believing, it's like, wait a minute, you actually believe this person?
Yeah.
I'm not like that. So, so those things, I was like, you know what? I don't know. But then I said no, because if I do that, I allow them to win on something that I know is not true. And I know that eventually they're going to find out, they're going to figure out that the problem is not me,
Mm.
that
Well,
is somebody else.
you said a real mouthful
A
right there, Miss
mouthful.
Nick. You said a real mouth, a full mouthful, because many times that somebody is saying something about somebody, and then you find out the reality that they're the problem, not you.
Hmm.
Mm.
Hmm. But again, that's why for me, I don't jump to conclusions. I have to find out if that is who, if you're saying something about me, or if you don't like me for whatever reason it is that you don't like me, I'm gonna ask you, did I do anything to you? Do you not like me, or do you not want me to come? So, like, I'm not gonna go based on what you said about so and so about me. I'm gonna go to the person and I'm gonna ask them before I start acting all crazy or start doing things that are, not not proper, not age appropriate. And what I mean by that is that, they're PG.
Oh, you mean you can't be rated X?
They're like middle school type of behavior. So before I go, or I have you go there, or I go, I will never do that. But let's say, you go that route. I'm gonna talk to you first. So for me, that for people to say, oh, she did this, she said that, and I'm like, really? I did? Like, I don't even know you from Adam. So why would I say things like that? But when I find myself doing that, defending myself, then I rather just back away
Mhm.
and say, you know
Yeah.
what, bye. And then I
I
find them elsewhere and they tell me, I am so sorry. I found out that it was that person, the one that was doing it. I'm so sorry for what happened. But at that point, it's too late
Mhm.
because I don't give second chances.
Yep. I've learned that you've given me that as a gift, because I was the person who gave like 50 million chances, and then everybody used to always tell me like, "Why do you keep taking them back? Why do you put up with that?" And I feel like, because I want to be forgiven too. I was like, "But you're not doing what they're doing."
Uh
So
huh.
stop it.
Yeah. Again, we all have our moments. We all have our, the little side of us that is that we're like, I wish I could change this about me. But, I've learned, through lifing, right? That,
Mhm.
not everybody deserves a second chance. And the only
Mhm.
people that I am willing to take another chance on is, my people, my kiddos, and, a few friends that I know are worth taking a second chance on. But other
Yep.
than that, nope. Even if they
I
come back
know.
and say, you were right. Oh my God, you were so right. I was wrong with this. I'm sorry. And yeah, hey, don't, I haven't thought about you in years, but yeah, go on.
Yeah, I was like, and my favorite is, who are you?
Yeah, I just did that to my best friend today. Who is this? She's like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, I was like, oh, I forgot what your voice sounds like because you don't call me anymore.
Well, no, she changed her number and she told me, right, I'm changing my number. I'll send you a text with a new one, blah, blah. And she sent it today. She told me this about a week ago, okay? She sends it today. She's like, hey, how are you? I'm like, I'm sorry, who is this? She's like, what? I told you I was going to change my number, blah, blah. I'm like, who is this again? I'm so sorry. I don't remember speaking to anyone that said that to me as of late. It's like, you're
I
so crazy.
know. I know, but we have to when we have good people in our life, we really have to show appreciation for them. I say it all the time. Show grateful for the people who, put up with us.
Yeah. Well, I'm a walk in the park, but I don't know about you, Marlene. Yeah, I will have to think it
Mm.
over.
Yeah, because I forgot. Yes, that's right. You're perfection. Hmm.
Yeah, I'm so happy you're accepting what I am. No, but again, it all jokes aside, it is not healthy to be a jealous person because it robs you from enjoying life. It does.
Hmm. It
You're
does.
so busy being jealous that you don't enjoy the accomplishments along the way of what you are accomplishing, not others. You don't even, take a second look of all the things that you're doing because you're so busy wanting or trying to get what the other person has. And that in itself stops you from growing as an individual. And that you lose a lot more than what you gain by being jealous of others. Just, do you stay in your lane. Do what you're supposed to, what you're meant to do. Work on
That,
you.
that's what I'm trying to say, Nexty. But sometimes we can't stay in our own lane because they try to they try to throw traps in front of us, right? They try to
Hmm.
throw traps in front of you to stop you from doing something, or they try to get people to turn on you so that they can come to their side. But I always say the people who will leave you and go over to them and listen to their lies, it's that's a blessing for you.
Yeah, and it's just a
It
matter
is.
of time.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way I look at it is when people do that, when they start believing somebody else's nonsense and they have known you and they still believe it, then you know what? They they will see one day that it wasn't you, that it had nothing to do with you.
Mm-hmm. And it doesn't. It has nothing to do with you.
It's just, I don't know, it's so strange for me when I see things like that. I'm like, this is so weird.
Mm-hmm.
This is just too strange. I don't get it. I really don't. So I'm not like that. So I'm very direct. If I want to say something to you, I'm going to find a way to get to you and I'm going to tell you exactly how, I feel or don't feel about it but I'm not going to do it like a child. Like, let's not talk to
I
so and
know.
so anymore.
Yeah,
It's
we're
just
not
fun.
we're not friends. I don't like them because and then the have you ever heard like some of the things honestly, Nexie, some of the things that they say why they don't like somebody and you're like you don't like them because they're living their life because they have plans.
You don't like them
Okay.
because you don't even know them? Is that
Oh,
what you're
okay. You
saying?
don't like them because they're beautiful or they're having success in their life. Okay.
Again,
That's
there's only
weird.
so much you can do with people when they're because they're not going to listen to you, right? They're not going to take, your side or your word for it. And the fact that you're having to explain yourself on why you're not the way that this person says that you are, that on itself, that would be enough for me to say, okay, is that what you want? No problem. I wouldn't waste any time explaining on why maybe this person looks at me that way. I've had an experience here, and I think you were part of it. Before, when somebody did something, and somebody else came to my defense and said, no, that's not how she is. That's not true. That's not who she is. She's not like that. So I don't understand where this is coming from. And I appreciated that because I didn't have to say anything. This other person did all of this, and then he came back that this is the way this person moves. So
Hmm.
it has nothing to do with me. I didn't have to defend myself. I was not going to do that. No, 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 no. If it bothers you that I'm in your channel, let me know. There's so many others that I can go to.
Nexie, it bothers me. You're on my channel.
Okay, bye.
I'm just kidding. I'm just messing with you. I like to. Me and Nexie, we have a very beautiful friendship. She likes to bother
Yes.
me, and I like to bother her. That's when I knew I was like, this is going to be lasting because I can't have people who are uptight in my life. I can't.
Life is too hard. It's hard enough, and too hard to go through it without friendships, without friends. I've always had this saying. I've always said this to my kids and to anybody that I'm close to. And I don't know if it's something that people say or not. I don't care. But for me, I don't trust people that do not love animals,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't trust people that do not have friends.
Mm-hmm. Or,
I'm
or and, and
sorry.
and you also, I don't trust people who don't take care of their older relatives. I'm just saying.
It
I
goes
know I'm
along.
putting myself in the hot seat, but if you don't take care
Well,
of your older family, I can't respect you. I'm sorry.
exactly. You have to, there's so much there's so much of us that we can give, but unfortunately, with the times and everything, we learn sometimes to be selfish, to not put others before us. And I'm not saying that I'm going to put myself, in harm's way to to help others. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that we're not doing it at all.
Mm.
It's going getting to a point where, even the younger generation doesn't want to take care of the older generation.
Huh.
you
They
know
don't. They.
but where have they learned this from? It's a learned behavior. We're learning from our parents, from our grandparents, right? So we have to. That's why I always say, for me, those are the two things. It's like, if you don't like pets that are harmless and all they do is love you, but you don't like them, no, we can't be friends. And
Mm-hmm.
if you don't have any friends, we'll definitely not be friends.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. To me, it's weird when people say they have no friends. I don't mean you have to have like 50 friends, but I'm like, you gotta at least have one friend. Yeah, people are like, oh, I have no friends. I'm like, okay, goodbye.
Yeah, no, I have a lot of acquaintances. I do have a lot of them, co-workers that are, that have become um, people that I know, right? I'm acquainted with. I know their ins and out, what time they come in. I'm kind of concerned when they're not there at a certain time, but I have, a handful of best friends that I can
Mm-hmm.
really call my best friends. You know, two that are becoming that. And we're getting there little by little because, we just met. But I have people that I can call my friends. And that on itself is, speaks for you because it shows others that you can be trusted, that you are someone that gets along with others, and that, you have a heart.
Yep.
I think we're
You
missing
have
a
a heart.
lot.
Yeah. And I feel like having conversations like this is so important because if we don't talk about it, how are other people going to become aware of what's going on? And one of the things is that we have to realize that our very relatives are the main ones that are jealous of us. And I didn't
Mm.
want to believe that.
I've seen it. I've seen it. And I'm like, this is so weird, but that's your sister.
Or people are jealous of
That's
their
your
own children.
cousin. Yeah, that's your cousin. That's your sister. That's your kid, but mostly like that's your sister, dude. That's your brother. Like what? It doesn't register. But again, those behaviors sometimes I learned because of mom or dad or grandparents
Mhm.
sometimes that prefer one brother or one sister to the other and they make it known. And that is horrible.
Yeah. We've talked about this before, Miss Nexie, is that, the parents who try to separate siblings so that, they can only choose the parent and not choose them. That's weird because I grew up with my mom always saying that even after I'm not here, I want you to know that you have your siblings. But then at
Mhm.
the same time, she was separating us. I was like, what?
My dad said that all the time. You guys, I don't care if you guys get mad at me or if you guys get mad at each other, but you have to make up because after I'm gone, you guys are gonna need each other. And all you're gonna have is each other. So my dad will make sure that we were
Mhm.
on speaking terms with everybody.
Oh, we didn't have that. My mom says, I don't care if you're not talking to them, but you're going to do what you need to do. My mom didn't care about that. We didn't have balance. Mom said, just go and make up your bed. She didn't care who was mad at each
I don't
other.
care if you're not talking to her, but you're still gonna clean that room. You're still gonna pick up those shoes.
Yep. My mom said, you don't have to talk to them, but you're going to wash their clothes.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Again, the importance of balance.
And, it's one of those things that I'm grateful for, sometimes our parents or whoever raised us did not possess certain things, but as we get older, now we possess it or we learn how to possess it, and then you give that to the next generation so that it can get better and improve. And I'm so tired of seeing jealousy within, relatives within the family
Yeah,
units.
that is
I'm
so
so
sad.
over it. I'm over, a mom and dad being jealous of each other, or the kids being jealous of each other, or grandparents or aunties and uncles and cousins. So it's like there's no strengthening bonds. Like it,
No,
it starts. It's what they call it, generational brokenness.
yes, there you go. That's exactly what it is. And another thing is that creates how can I put it? A division that It's probably going to take years and a lot of therapy for family members to overcome,
Mhm.
because
Yep.
and this is the thing that those, and I noticed that the older generation did this a lot, where the if one of the siblings was acting out, the mom will go and talk to the other siblings about this sibling, and everybody will gang up on them, and then the mom will come as like, oh my god, right? Or grandparents preferring one of the grandkids over the others,
Mhm.
and make it obvious too, like, hi so and so, hi, oh my baby, blah blah blah, and they run to the other one and not the two that they first,
Mhm.
you know what I mean, like, all those things create a lot of this, resentments and jealousies. That's where it comes from. It's not something that we're born with, it's something that is, developed.
Yeah. And that's one of the things that I had to learn, that it's okay to, learn how to do better, because I can't say for me, I didn't know how to do better growing up. I had jealousy within, my parents used to be jealous of each other, my siblings, we were all jealous of each other. So, of course, as an adult, I was jealous of everybody. But then I was like, this is crazy. I have to learn how to stop being this way. And I'm glad, because now in my family unit, I was like, you don't know how beautiful it is that you have it, that you have loving relationships, that we communicate, you know,
Hmm.
things are much different in this generation, but it's because I wanted to stop the cycle of brokenness.
And how long did it take?
It took almost 8 years for me to
And you're
get it.
still working on it.
Yep. Yep.
And the
Yep.
damage is already done, because there's already like another generation after you that kind of got a little bit of what you went through, in a lower scale, of course, but still got to see, got to witness the dysfunction junction. Remember
Yes.
dysfunction junction? I remember the teacher.
I almost sang the song.
I remember the teacher. That's not right. This is dysfunctional. Oh man, we is funny,
Yeah. Yeah.
but these
But
topics are important
yeah, these
to
topics
be
are so
had.
important. And that's the reason why I wanted to, go live and to talk about it, because it's time that we stop being jealous of one another, jealous of your siblings, your kids, your friends, whoever, jealous of other people. But, having enough courage to say, I love myself enough to stop the cycle. I don't have to be jealous. I can have my own life. I can do something great and then do something about it. So
There you go. Be accountable
be accountable.
for
So great.
everything that you are. Thank you, Marlene. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you. We'll see you all tomorrow on the sipping. What am I saying tomorrow? Tomorrow's Tuesday. I'm so used to saying what you call it, Thursdays, because that's when I'm used to us being live.
Together. I
Anyways,
know. I know. We'll see you later,
we'll
right?
see you on Thursday, everybody. Have a great rest of your
Yes.
day. Thank you so much, Miss Nexie.
You're very welcome, Marlene. Thank you for having me, and I'll see you later, I guess.
Yes.
All
Yep.
right, then.
I'm gonna go live on my other channel in about 20 minutes. Bye
Exactly.
bye. Bye bye,
Bye, everybody.
everybody.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for coming.